Alright, hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this video series. After what, 2 years, we're finally doing it. So, this one is going to be primarily focused on Termina Field, Milk Road and Romani Ranch. So, I want to add to my first video something that, came up, especially in Season 4, was the addition of a new check in Clocktown, which is the Skull Kid check. So, up there, you can only get the clock tower here on night 3. You probably already know this, but there can be a song check up there depending on what tournament you're playing in. So, if you get up there, which I'm gonna do just with the practice ROM to, save a bit of time, you're gonna see Skull Kid here, which will be handling an item that's not going to be the ocarina. It's the ocarina here just because I'm on a practice ROM. And what you just need to do is hit him with any projectile. So hookshot, bow, Deku Bubbles, and Zorafins will do. This is logically though. You can hit him out of logic with bombs, blast masks, a blast mask, and even a powder keg with Goron mask. You just stand below Skull Kid and hold the powder keg until it explodes, and it's gonna work. So any of those projectiles will do. So after this long cutscene, you're just gonna hit Skull Kid with anything, and it's gonna work. Like that. And the item in his hand is going to fall off. And to get the song, all you need to do is go pick up the ocarina and you will get the song. So that's it for this check. Now let's get into this video. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the observatory. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my part 1, but there's a check over there behind this kid that is behind a bombable wall that is considered part of East Clocktown, which, again, you can access with the projectiles I mentioned for logically doing Skull Kid, the same ones, which are Hookshot, Bow, Deku Bubbles, and Zorafins. And the reason why is because you need to play hide and seek with the bombers to get the code that you tell to this kid. But there's a very easy way to get past him, which is just to backwalk and backflip. Like, it's pretty simple. Alright, so since the last video, a lot of tournaments have also included chest-sized matches content, which is very applicable for this check. If you do a roll and see up in the roll, you can see what kind of chest it is over there. So if it has any golden parts to it, it's gonna be a major item, or like at least a temporary item. If it's a big golden chest, it has, a permanent item like a hookshot or a bomb bag. If it's a small golden chest, it's gonna have a temporary item like a letter or moon's tear and stuff like that. Room key. So this is still applicable. So this is the way to the chest, but we're gonna go this way and make our way to the Astral Observatory. So I recommend walking on water here because there's this Skulltula that can ruin your day if you don't walk on that water. So here we're faced with another balloon, just like the bomber's hide and seek balloon. You can use the same projectiles to destroy it as you do for that. But I just want to show some small thing here is that Zora does not actually care about this balloon. You can just climb the ladder, no worries. But in case you're doing this out of logic, which is very common and standard, you can use one of the pots here to just break the balloon and go about your day like normal. And right over there is the Astral Observatory. Just, again, as a side note, the 2 pots here have 5 rupees each if you need money, which is pretty common in this rando. Alright, so here we are. We make our way into the Astral Observatory, and we're going to do the first check, which is the Moon's Tier. So you just run into this guy who's going to talk to you, and you want to zoom on the Skull Kid, but before that, you want to go here and make the Scrub appear. We'll get to him, but you want to make him appear. So this cutscene here triggers the Moon's Tier falling from, you guessed it, the Moon's Eye. And will fall right next to the door leading outside of the observatory, so you can pick it up. This is our first Termina Field check. Now, the reason why you want to check the Scrub is that he's going to get into this grotto over here. And it takes a while in the vanilla game, but in the randomizer, they sped up that cutscene by a lot. And by the time the Skull Kid cutscene is over, the Scrub will already be in the grotto here. So it's important that the Scrub gets in the grotto before you exit the telescope. Alright, so now we can make our way outside and pick up the item. So this item here, if you're playing with overworld models, which most tournaments do, the item is also going to appear here. So you can see what item it is before making the Moon's Tier fall. Alright, so there you go. You can pick up the item. Now, also around the observatory here, there is a Gossip Stone, which in randomizers, they give hints about the seed. I'm not going to go into details about the whole hint system, how it works, but I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you that they give you hints. And I'm going to show you where they are in Termina Field in this video, because there are a lot of them. So, the grotto that the Scrub was in is this one. You are going to need to soar back or like make your way back out and come out of Clock Town to get into this grotto. But you can also use something like Goron Mask and Bombs, which was not allowed, I believe, when I made part 1. But damage boosts have now been allowed since then. So you can use Goron Mask and a Bomb Explosion to get over the fence. Which also works, you know, the other way around, from outside the fence to the observatory. So it's just little quirks to make, you know, your trip quicker. Also, the Moon's Tier is the check is also in logic. It's also in logic to reach the observatory with this flower right here, this Deku flower, with which you can make your way to the observatory, just as a. So it's important to keep in mind when you think about logic when it comes to MM randomizers. So in this grotto here, the Scrub is going to be here. And he's going to sell you an item. And he's selling a piece of heart here, but in the randomizer, the piece of heart text is updated to what he's selling in almost every tournament. Well, in every tournament, basically. So you can see what he sells. And he's going to offer you 150 rupees, but if you say no thanks, he's going to try to sell it to you for 100 rupees instead. And obviously this requires a wallet to buy, because the default wallet is 99 rupees. If you say no, you can always come back in your cycle, like the whole 3-day cycle. As long as you don't play Song of Time, he's going to be here in that grotto, and you can buy the piece of heart whenever. So don't be afraid to not have the money or a wallet yet. He's gonna be there the whole time. Alright, now we're gonna be moving on to our second Termina Field check, which is the Gossip Stones. Which, in this grotto right here next to the observatory, there are 4 of them. So there are 4 grottos across Termina Fields that have 4 Gossip Stones each. And every single one of... So, and all of these grottos, as far as hints go, are going to be the same. So, the 4 grottos have the same 4 hints. So, think of it as they're the same 4 gossip stones. But, for this one check, they're going to be relevant because you're going to need to play... You can play a song to them to change their color. So... What's important for this one is that you need a transformation mask and you know, its corresponding dungeon song. So for example, I'm Goron Link here and I played Goron Lullaby, which is the song that opens Snowhead Temple, which is, you know, the Goron dungeon. So I could do the same with Deku here. If I play Sonata of Awakening, the stone is going to turn green. This only works with Deku plus Sonata, Goron plus Lullaby, or Zora plus Bossa Nova. So, if I'm Goron here and I try to play New Wave Bossa Nova, the Gossip is not gonna turn blue. So I really need to play specifically Goron Lullaby with Goron. So think of it as it requires the mask plus the dungeon song. The corresponding dungeon song. And we're gonna need to do this 4 times. Well, once in each of the grottos. Which is exactly what we're gonna do. I'm also gonna, you know, give a tour of Termina Field and show where the Gossip Stones are at the same time. So this leads to Road to Icona, and this over there is the entrance or exit to East Clocktown. Right over there at the corner, there's a Gossip. There's another one in the corner over here. This is the entrance to going up north to Mountain Village, Goron Village. And this, as you might expect, is the way to in and out of North Clocktown. Up here, and right next to that area is our second Gossip Stone Grotto, in which we're gonna play Goron Lullaby. It's important to play it to the bigger Gossip Stones out of the 4. This check is, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go into the hint system, but just showing you that this check exists. So, there's also another Gossip Stone over here, which gives a hint. And then there's this grotto right here is our next Gossip Grotto, but this one requires either Goron Mask or explosives to be able to destroy. So if you don't have Goron Mask, and you only have Deku or Zora plus their songs, you cannot do this check. You're gonna need explosives. So you're gonna need either Goron Mask, bombs, or a Blast Mask. So this is our next Gossip Stones Grotto. And there's something particular also about this grotto that, you know, I want to show you. These are some of the dark arts of Majora's Mask. You can actually bottle up some spring water in this grotto. Not many people know this. This is a gift from me, which is going to be important. You're going to see why soon. So this is also the this is the way to Great Bay Coast, which is the western part of the map, and this is the entrance and exit to West Clocktown. Over here we have the entrance and exit to Milk Road and Romani Ranch, which we'll get to. There's another Gossip Stone here. And our last Gossip Stone Grotto is over here. This is the right next to the entrance to, well, it's between the entrance to Milk Road and Road to Southern Swamp. And, we're gonna cover these areas in, you know, future videos. I'll make a video on each of the areas when the time is due. And there you go. Once you've done this, you get your first check. There's also another gossip stone over there. And I'm pretty sure that's all of them. And yeah, of course, the entrance over here is the entrance to South Clocktown. And I think we're done. We're back to the grotto where the scrub is. So if you don't have enough money for the scrub, keep in mind that there's a 40 rupees that you can get from the tree here if you bonk into it. This is a once per cycle source of money. So be careful about this. There's also another source of money. You can climb this pillar here. And there are 40 rupees up there. So if you're in need of money for the scrub, there's a lot of it available around it. So, alright, so we're back to East Clocktown. Well, close to the East Clocktown door. And the first check I want to go into is, again, you can climb this pillar as well here, which has a grotto on top of it. And then this grotto is a chest that you can just open. So that's Sphere 0. It doesn't really require any item. You can just go there. So we'll just go around the same way we did. And we're gonna go to this guy, which is Kamaro. So Kamaro will be dancing on this specific mushroom near the, you know, near the gossip stone I showed you earlier over here. He's gonna be dancing on the mushroom with stones on them. You can't really miss it. And you need to be specifically Child Link and play Song of Healing. He's gonna be in this spot at any night from midnight up until morning, so 6 AM. On all 3 nights, he's gonna be there. So he's gonna give you an item. I already have Kamaro's mask in my inventory, but trust me, he gives you an item. And right under the same mushroom, there is this grotto, which has 2 Dodongos, which you can kill any way you want. They're the same Dodongos as Ocarina of Time, so you can kill them in the exact same way. You can use bombs, bows, jump slashes, regular slashes. They also give 50 rupees each, which is a really good source of money in the early game. And yeah, they give you a chest that you can open for a check. Now let's go to the western part of the map. There is another grotto in here, just like the one to open the Gossip's Grotto up there. So they're the same requirements, either bombs, Goron, or Blast Mask. And if you get in there, there's a beehive you can pop. You can use Zora Fins, which I would recommend since you're gonna need Zora Mask for this. But you can destroy the beehive. And yeah, you can see the check right there. You can use a bow or hook shot. I would recommend using either Zora or the hook shot, because otherwise the beehive takes absolutely like a year and a half to fall down and break for you to see the item. Plus, it's possible for the item to land on the lily pad and for you to get lucky, but of course you're gonna need Zora Mask to dive down there and get the item in logic. So next check is all the way over there, which is another underwater check, which is this one. This one only requires Zora Mask. So you can just go to the chest and open it. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I'm gonna go in reverse order here. I'm gonna do the southern checks from east to west. So we're back to where the observatory was, and right in this corner is a check that you can open, and right here in the middle of this weird grass shape, there's a grotto that you can fall into and open a chest. On this stump here is a check that requires either a hook shot or magic beans. So you can use the hook shot to hook up to this chest, or you can use, you know, you can plant a magic bean and use either Song of Storms or water to make the bean sprout, but you need a source of water, which is, you know, fortunately there's one really nearby, which I just showed you. So you make the bean sprout and you can reach the chest. There's also a way to get, I mean, no, I'm not going to talk about that. Next up, I'm going to make a save state here. Yeah, I'll make a save state just to show this, but right where the butterflies are flying, there is a pea hat in this grotto. But just like, if you're familiar with them from Ocarina of Time, at night, which is right now, they're sleeping. So you need to put, so you need to be during the day. And during the day, they're sleeping. And they're going to be awake. So you can, you know, you can beat them however you want. You can hit them. You just need a sword, basically. And I'm doing this with the bow because it's faster, but defeating it just makes a chest appear. And now we're back. So that was every check in Termina Field. So it was it's a pretty simple area. It's the region that has the most Sphere 0 checks in the game, I believe, which means it's the one that has the most often statistically an item required per check. Yeah, I think I went through everything. So now we're gonna do Romani Ranch first. So to get to Romani Ranch, you have to go through Milk Road, but because of the time of day I'm at right now, I'm gonna do Romani Ranch first, which has not that many checks. So there's a Gossip Stone here, first of all, in Milk Road. There's also an owl statue over here that you can hit with your sword. But behind that huge boulder is Romani Ranch. So I just want to show you for one that this area is open on day 3 and night 3. I'm just gonna skip to day 3 just to show you guys. So this guy is just trying to break open this boulder. And he finally succeeds once you get to day 3. So on day 3, he finally opened the way, and now you can get to Romani Ranch. Alright, so welcome to the ranch. There are a bunch of checks here. The first one first thing I'm gonna do is give you a tour of the place again. So right to your left, there's a gossip stone here. There's 5 of them in Romani Ranch. One of them is here, near this tree. Whoops. I forgot about this cutscene. Yeah, this is indeed my horse. One of them is behind the barn here where Romani is playing with the balloon. And the 2 other ones are the checks I want to go into here. One of them is in there. And this is the infamous lemons, or, you know, the chicks here. This one requires the Bremen mask, which is this thing. And what it does is that you hold the B button and you walk to every single lemon. And this can take a while. And everyone loves this music. And there are 10 of them. So, in Rando, I believe the latest update added dots on the map to show you where they are, which makes this much simpler. Come on. I think that's all of them. Yep, there it is. So it's important that you keep holding the B button down the whole time until it's over. Once you've collected all of them. Otherwise, they will turn back into lemons and will scatter and it will be painful. There you go. Once that's done, this guy will give you an item. Now, there's also a gossip here. I think I showed it to you, but there's a gossip in this place that gives a hint. And in the next room over here, there is another place, which is the doggy racetrack. So this one back there has a gossip stone and also has a chest, which can be available in 3 different ways. The first one is with the hook shot, because of course you can hook shot this. The next one is with Zora mask, because you can climb up there with Zora. I don't usually do this, but you can climb up there as Zora, apparently. I've never actually done this because there's a better way to do this check, but I guess that's how you do it, but no, you can climb up there. There you go. So this is available as Zora. Or you can use this plant, this bean plant right here. This bean holder planted, but the most common way you'll see people use this, which is something that's allowed in standard, is to just jump and jump slash like this. This is allowed. It's not in logic, but it's allowed. Alright, now for the dog race. This is a check that you can do absolutely blind, but if you get the Mask of Truth, it just has to be in your inventory in standard. You just pick the gold dog. Go talk to this lady. Bring her the gold dog. Just walk into her. And you need to bet minimum 50 rupees. And if you have the Mask of Truth on you, the gold dog will win every time. You don't even have to wear the mask. You just need to have the Mask of Truth in your inventory, and the gold dog will just win automatically. Now, this is on the vanilla game, so he might not actually win. In fact, it's looking pretty bad right now. Man, Blue Dog might actually be Gold Dog. This is looking rough for our boy. Okay, never mind. Blue Dog is still bad. Never pick Blue Dog. Sorry, Blue Dog, but yeah. And if you win the race, the reason why you want to bet 50 is because if you win 150 or more, she will reward you with a piece of heart. So, the next checks I want to go into are aliens and Cremia. So, if you have a powder keg, you can do the Ranch Sisters Defense is what I believe it's called. So you need Goron, a keg, and a powder keg will blow up this rock completely. And you can access the wrench earlier than on day 3. The other checks don't require you to have a powder keg. Only aliens, Cremia, and then the song, which we'll get to. So if you get here, wait, I'll get the animation again, right? Like the horse animation. Whatever. So if you get here at 2:30 a.m. I'll just make time go normally again. At 2:30 there's going to be an alien invasion. You want to enter the ranch past 2:30 because you don't get this cutscene right here, which is, you know, slightly slower. Ideally you want to get there much later. You want to be here at around at least at 3 a.m. If you get here at 3 a.m. you're fine. Oh no. Hopefully time is stopped. You also need a bow to do this check, because you're gonna shoot the aliens. So the way I usually do this check, you can find your preferred way of doing it. I like to stand on this box and wait for the alien that's behind the barn here to get to this tree. And then I just start shooting all of them. Like, the better you are, the later you can get to the wrench. And the closer you can let them come before you know, I mean, the better you are, basically. But you can start shooting all of them. So every time you kill an alien, they drop arrows, so you can never miss any arrow. There are some in this crate here, if you need some. If you roll into the crate, you can find arrows. And of course this check is very slow, but, you know, still showing it anyway. So again, once this alien reaches this tree, that's usually my cue to just start shooting them. And there you go. The check is done now. You don't have to shoot any more aliens. Once you reach 5:15 a.m., the aliens are all gonna leave. You can just wait patiently. And there you go. So you only need to shoot them twice, essentially. You can get to the wrench pretty late if you have Goron. You can even get to like 3:30 And there you go. That's how you do this check. Now, this is the first step of the Ranch Sisters. And the next one is gonna be... This one is just aliens. The alien defense or something. This is only done on night 1, by the way. This is specifically on night 1 at... it starts at 2:30, but you can get there to, like, you know, 3:30 even. If you have Grand Mass, you can get there pretty late. Because you can reach the barn really fast. So, this next check is Cremia, which happens on specifically night 2. And you need to be there, I believe, before 7 p.m. I think she starts moving at 7, but, you know. All you need to do is talk to her while she's there at the beginning of the night, specifically. And so you're gonna get into a cutscene that's shortened a bit in Randomizer. There's a lot less dialogue. But what's gonna happen is that the Gorman brothers are gonna go after the milk that she's carrying and that she's trying to go to deliver to the milk bar in town. So you essentially need a bow for this, but you already need a bow for the aliens, so you should have a bow at that point. And yes, I asked because you get the reward in Termina Field. I thought it was a Termina Field check before, but no, it's a Romani Ranch check. Just confirming it. So this is the only instance where this mask right here is useful, which is the Circus Leader's mask. In the base games, it serves no purpose because you get it after doing this quest, but in Rendo, if you have it, you can wear it, and it makes the Gorman brothers not attack you. I'm not really gonna show it, but... because it's a bit late for me to do that, but... yeah, she has to take this detour because the Gorman brothers block the road. Yeah, here you have to put it to select yes, just like Gabora Gabora in Ocarina of Time. And then you can shoot these guys and prevent them from destroying the milk, you know, the milk crates here. It's pretty simple, honestly. They're pretty big targets. But if you have, again, the Circus Leader's mask, you can wear it and they're not going to attack you. I think as long as one jar survives, you're fine. I don't know exactly when you can stop shooting them. You can stop shooting them after a certain point. Essentially, you just prevent them from hitting, you know... if you don't shoot them, what happens is that they hit the milk bottles here and they try to break them. Yeah, this lasts for a very long time. There you go. Once you reach this cutscene, it's over. You've successfully done the check. So after that's done, you're gonna get the second reward of the Ranch Sisters defense. And there you go. So we're back here, and the last check I want to go into is the Epona's song check. Which you can only do on day 1. So I just want to show it on day one. Again, this one requires the powder keg. It's just a song check. Yeah, I'm just gonna go all the way to Romani Ranch again. This one does not require a bow, funnily enough. You don't require a bow. Even though you're gonna use a bow, it doesn't require one. So you just blow up this rock with the powder keg. You're on day one. This is the third time we get this cutscene, but you know, it's all good. And because you're here before the alien invasion, Romani will be all happy. Can I just... No, too bad. Let's just watch this cutscene again. But yeah, all you need to do is talk to Romani here. You have to talk to her as Human Link. And she's going to talk to you about the alien invasion. This cutscene is shorter in Randomizer, so... Oh yeah, I want to talk about this too. I forgot. Yeah, and she's going to ask you to play a mini game here. And, you know, there are different ways you can do this, but the goal is just to pop every balloon in Romani Ranch. This is how I like to do it. Some people like to, you know, gallop the whole way. Depends how good your aim is. Technically, it's easier to just gallop the whole way because, you know, you'll be closer to the balloons and they're going to be easier to shoot. It's really up to you. So you just shoot all the balloons and you will learn a song. And there you go. She's just going to give you the song. And those were every check in Romani Ranch. And the next area we're going to tackle today is Milk Road, which is the area we just went by. And which we're going to get back to. So, again, I showed you the gossip here, but right next to the gossip, there's this patch of grass right here, which is a Keen grass patch. So if you want to do Keen quiz, you can with this. I'm pretty sure I showed this off in North Clocktown, but there you go. Keen will spawn. Keen will spawn here. So there's also a Tingle in Milk Road, which is right here. He's gonna sell the ranch map and the Great Bay Coast map. So those are two checks you can do. And finally in Milk Road, it's a very small area, so the last check that's available is the Gorman Bros race. And for this one, you need Epona's song, and that's it. You just call Epona. And you don't even need to be on Epona. You need to talk to the blue Gorman when Epona is in the area. And they will challenge you to a race. And you say yes. It's 10 rupees. And you just do the race. I'm pretty bad at this. I mean, I'm not gonna lose this race, but you know, I could be more optimal at it, is what I mean. No, I got a 48. One day I'll get 46. So, once you win the race... And there you go. And that's pretty much it. In some settings, as in Season 3, for example, the Gormans... The Gormans will sell some... that we're selling an item for 50 rupees, so, you know, just in case, I can just show it to you. But they were selling some milk for, well, they tell you what they sell. So you can just buy the item. I didn't go over this in the Clockdown video, but, you know, just in case you need milk, they can sell you some. So, the last thing I want to talk about, I want to show you a couple of things in Termina Field before we leave. Under the arch over there, there is a grotto. That you specifically need bombs or a blast mask or even a keg to open, which has cows, which, you know, you can play Epona's song too if you need a source of milk. And the last tip I want to show you that at the release of this video is applicable to the Scrubs tournament that doesn't run with Epona's star. So, the Great Bay fence over there, if you do not have Epona's song, if you approach this fence, Tattle will talk to you. And if you trigger this message, this is the same flag as, believe it or not, it is the same flag as planting and watering the bean at the observatory. So, I'm just gonna show you. So now that you've triggered this flag for this cycle, out of nowhere, you didn't see me do it, but the bean is now planted at the observatory. So, you know, you can craft some openers when you don't have Epona Star, where you can just trigger the text at the fence and plant the bean, and it's gonna plant the bean here. So, if you're doing observatory, you can leave using this bean and go right to the scrub. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. Alright, I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but there's one last thing I need to mention before finishing this video, which is right next to the entrance to Milk Road, there's this bird called the Takuri, and you need to be careful because he can steal your items. But he can only steal your items if you have the bow. If you don't have the bow, he can't steal anything. But what's noticeable about this guy is that You can kill him for a good sum of money. If you kill him, he's gonna drop an orange rupee, which is worth 200, I believe. Which is worth, yeah, it's worth 200. So, Great Fairy Sword's the best way to kill him. If not, you can shoot elemental arrows. But, yeah, Great Fairy Sword is by far the best way to kill him. But be careful, if you have the bow, and he touches you, he steals your items and runs away. He steals one of your items and runs away, and you have to play either Song of Time or buy it back at the Curiosity Shop in West Clocktown. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to mention that. So these were every relevant information or checks for Termina Field, Milk Road, and Romani Ranch. All the checks that are randomized in standard settings. So hope you like this video. Part 3, I don't know when it's going to come out, but part 3 is going to be on Road to Southern Swamp, Deku Palace, and Woodfall. Alright, see you next time, everybody.